Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to completely reframe how you look at the everyday sunflower. We're taking it from a simple garden aesthetic and revealing it for what it truly is, a highly sophisticated solar-powered botanical machine. And for all the health-conscious viewers out there, we're really going to dig into how this plant's remarkable physical engineering directly creates a pharmaceutical-grade nutritional payload that can fundamentally protect your cellular health. Let's get into it.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the plant's solar-powered architecture, move into its mathematical design, dive deep into its pharmaceutical-grade properties, check out some cutting-edge high-oleic genetics, and finally zoom out to see how all of this drives the massive global sunflower economy.
Starting with Section 1, the solar-powered plant and its architectural design for energy harvesting.
Now, these plants were actually domesticated back in 3000 BCE in North America, specifically for their massive energy yields. And their mechanism for harvesting sunlight, known as heliotropism, is just fascinating. During early growth, the plant physically tracks the sun's trajectory from east to west every single day. It pulls this off using an internal circadian rhythm that alters cell elongation on opposite sides of its stem. Then, overnight, it literally resets. Once it reaches full maturity, the stem stiffens up and locks permanently facing east. This is a brilliant structural adaptation because it rapidly warms the flower head in the morning light, which is absolutely crucial for attracting essential pollinators.
And the result of all that harvested solar energy is the snack we eat. But here's the kicker. It's actually not a seed at all. It's a highly protected dry fruit called an achene. That iconic striped external hull, that's the pericarp wall, acting as a literal fortress to protect the oil-rich, highly nutritious kernel tucked inside. And supporting this whole operation above ground is an aggressive taproot network plunging up to 2 meters deep into the subsoil, giving the plant truly exceptional drought tolerance.
Moving to Section 2, let's explore nature's mathematical masterpiece, the pseudoanthium and Fibonacci geometry.
So, the crazy thing is that a sunflower isn't actually a single flower. It's what botanists call a pseudoanthium, or a false flower. It's actually an entire colony working perfectly together. Those bright yellow petals on the outside are sterile ray florets designed strictly as a visual beacon for pollinators. Meanwhile, the actual reproductive core is made up of thousands of fertile disc florets packed tightly right into the center.
And when we zoom in on that central disc, it can hold up to 2,000 fertile florets. But they aren't just thrown in there randomly, not at all. They're arranged in interconnected Fibonacci mathematical spirals. We're talking usually 34 shifting in one direction, intersecting with 55 or 89 shifting in the other. This flawless evolutionary geometry guarantees the absolute maximum packing density of seeds. It's how the plant crams as much pharmaceutical-grade nutrition into a single circular area as physically possible, without wasting a single millimeter of space.
Because of this incredibly striking geometry and behavior, it's pretty amazing to see how human linguistics universally recognize its sun-facing nature. From the Spanish semillas de girasol and the French tournesol to the Arabic bizet dawar al-shams, almost every major culture globally names this plant directly after its intimate, dynamic relationship with the sun.
Okay, Section 3. This is the big one. A pharmaceutical-grade superfood for cellular protection and systemic health.
If you're health conscious, pay very close attention here because we're going to break down how this perfect botanical matrix translates into literal pharmaceutical-grade nutrition for your cardiovascular system. These kernels are targeted endothelial protectors, meaning they guard the inner lining of your blood vessels. Just a tiny 30-gram serving delivers over 75% of your daily value of alpha-tocopherol, better known as vitamin E. This acts as a systemic lipid-soluble antioxidant that intercepts free radicals to prevent the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, which, as we know, is a primary driver of arterial plaque. Then you have phytosterols, packed in at 270 milligrams per 100 grams. Their chemical structure is so close to cholesterol that they competitively block cholesterol absorption sites right in your intestinal tract. Plus, you get trace minerals like selenium and copper, which are mandatory cofactors for your body's natural enzyme systems, mounting a huge internal defense against oxidative stress.
Beyond just optimizing your cholesterol profile, making these seeds a regular part of your diet actually turns them into systemic anti-inflammatory regulators. Clinical studies show they actively lower C-reactive protein, or CRP markers, which downregulates your body's inflammatory signaling pathways. On top of that, they deliver dense amounts of magnesium to support healthy nerve signal transmission and essential B-complex vitamins that maintain normal muscle relaxation cycles. It's a complete package.
Which brings us to Section 4, High-oleic seed genetics and the engineering of the modern super oil.
Because of these profound health benefits and a massive shift in health-conscious consumer demand, agricultural breeders are actively evolving the seed's lipid profile. Standard linoleic varieties are great. They contain 50 to 70% omega-6 fatty acids, which our cellular membranes love. But modern breeders have now successfully scaled high-oleic genetics. These newer varieties yield oils that are exceptionally rich in omega-9 monounsaturated fats. They offer a highly lucrative zero-trans fat alternative that matches the extreme shelf stability of olive oil. This genetic leap is literally transforming commercial food production by swapping out unhealthy trans fats for a stable, health-promoting alternative that commands premium prices globally.
And finally, Section 5, the global sunflower economy and the macroeconomics of the black soil belts.
When you pair that surging high-oleic demand with the plant's natural mathematical perfection, you get a massive 50 million metric ton global industry. The geopolitical reality here is stark. Ukraine and Russia are the absolute dual superpowers of this trade, historically and currently controlling over half of the total global production. Because of this, they heavily dictate global commodity pricing for sunflower oil everywhere else in the world, and it really all comes down to one incredible geographic advantage.
That advantage is the Chernozem. It's a highly fertile, nutrient-rich black soil belt sweeping right across Eastern Europe. It provides the absolute perfect agronomic conditions for massive-scale, high-yield sunflower farming. Global trade relies almost entirely on this specific geographic zone. When crop yields in the Chernozem fluctuate, you can bet the pricing of sunflower oil in your local grocery store is going to feel the impact.
Meanwhile, if we look outside Eastern Europe, we see a really fascinating contrast in how production is focused. The European Union operates as a highly organized domestic bloc, catering mostly to their own premium internal refining markets and steady consumer demand. But on the flip side, the Americas, specifically the US and Argentina, are building massive mechanized agricultural pipelines that are heavily dedicated to growing those premium, specialized high-oleic genetics we talked about, feeding expansive commercial networks.
So, where does all this 50 million metric ton production actually go? Well, roughly 85 to 90% is routed straight into the crushing superindustry. Commercial kitchens heavily prioritize sunflower seed oil because of its completely neutral flavor profile and incredibly high smoke point, which makes it absolutely perfect for commercial high-temperature frying. And the crushing mills? They don't waste a thing. They convert the remaining solid seed residue into premium, high-protein livestock feed. Only about 15% of global production ever makes it into the confectionery sector for those in-shell stadium snacks and dehulled kernels we love to eat.
So I want to leave you with a thought. When you consider the flawless Fibonacci geometry maximizing every ounce of nutrient density, the daily sun tracking machinery powering its growth, and the resulting pharmaceutical-grade cardiovascular protection packed into every single kernel, how much of our global trade in personal health relies entirely on the mathematical perfection of this single flower? It's pretty wild. I challenge you to ponder that the next time you see a sunflower and reconsider the hidden, beautifully engineered power packed inside our everyday foods.